Hello everyone and welcome back to Lore Corner. Now I suppose this is the first long form video, but today I have a very special challenge. Now this challenge was suggested to me by someone from my stream, make sure to check it out, link in the description. But this is called the Black Hole Challenge. Now the Black Hole Challenge, what it involves, is only being able to use Adora with the Voidora skin, along with the Boomerang Monkey on the top path, as the Glaive Lord, you know, the boomerangs kind of revolve around him, sort of like a black hole sort of deal. And then the Spike Factory middle path, which, again, has this sort of spiral effect. And so yeah, the goal is to beat Chimps on Moon Landing, this map. Now to get started, the only way, the only tower I can even place is a boomerang, by the way, because I can't afford a Spike Factory and I can't afford Adora yet. And so I think the way is to place a boomerang somewhere around here, and that is the only way that I know of on this map to be able to pop these initial 3 greens. Now, as you see, I don't have the best placement, and we honestly just have to try over and over again until we get the perfect placement, because there is a placement on here that I know of that this boomerang can actually hit, and that's not it, because we don't make enough money to get another boomerang until later in the round. It has to be able to beat these 3 greens. That's not it. We need it to be able to hit inside this spiral and hit all the balloons at the same time. And yes, I know what you're thinking. We can upgrade this one time, but trust me, it is not worth it. The best way is to just get a good layout, which we just got there. And now what we need to do is we need to get a second boomerang when we get to $350 and place this somewhere up here, just so that we are able to cover the balloons that this one lets by. Okay. So we're going to get a boomerang and put him right about here. And we're going to switch him to left hand so we can hit in here a little bit easier. Now, I haven't addressed this yet, but the major problems for this challenge are 1. Camos. Because the only thing that can hit camos in this challenge are our Spike Factory and our Glaive Lord, which costs a lot of money, if you can't tell. So because of this, we need to be very careful when it comes to camos and be very cognizant of when the camo rounds are coming. Also, I didn't mention this, but I might be skipping some mundane rounds just for the sake of making the video more interesting throughout. But our next round is going to have some red balloons, blue balloons, and green balloons, same as the first round. But since we found the good setup here, we should be fine, especially with our second boomerang. And we're actually going to get long range, just so we can hit them down here as well. And we're going to put this guy on last, just so we can hit inside this circle here. And I think this should work best. Oh, he just barely got that guy. But, oh yeah, and the other challenge, that or the other difficulty of this challenge, rather, is the start. The start is very, very crucial until we can get to Adora or somewhere around there, because we simply have to play everything perfectly. We can't let a single balloon by. Now I think the key here is to play it slow and buy faster throwing almost immediately. And I could buy long range ranks on this monkey, but I don't want to, because I don't want him getting distracted down here since I have him set on last. And now, you might be confused why I'm going the middle path and the bottom path when I said we're only allowed to go top path. What I meant by that is we can do a cross path of the other paths, but we have to go primary path, always the top path. So eventually these will turn into top path boomerangs. And it looks like we're safe on this round as well. And the next round is comprised only of green balloons. And since we have that good setup that allowed us to get this far, we should be fine. as this boomerang is making sure none of them are green when they leave this area, and this boomerang is able to clean up the blue balloons. So hopefully we shouldn't have any problems here going forward. Should be relatively smooth sailing. And yes, come on, pop that quickly. And then hopefully hits both of those, and then we're good. Alright, so we are getting a healthy amount of money, and lucky for us, round 10 actually is all blue balloons. So we are able to honestly just speed forward through this, and we don't need to buy any additional upgrades, simply because this one is fairly straightforward. We shouldn't have any problems, and this boomerang can take care of it all by himself without any problems at all. We get the blue rush, but again, with 2 boomerangs, we're completely fine. Now, I think the strategy here might simply be to go for glaives. Maybe even the second upgrade of faster rangs. I'm not quite sure. But I suppose we can always try again. Let's go ahead and try glaives. Or let's get improved ranks for sure. And then, yeah, let's go for glaives. And we got yellow balloons this round. Here, let me slow this down. I didn't necessarily mean for that to be sped up, but we got through the yellows, and that should have been the hardest part. So we should be relatively safe. And I'm hoping now with this upgrade that we might be able to save up for Adora. Or Voidora, rather. So this next round has some yellows, but it's primarily greens and blues. So we should be fine. Alright. Looks good. And there we go. Alright, the next round is all blues and greens, so I'm going to actually fast forward through this one. Just because we should be completely fine. And this will be a good money round for us to get towards Adora. Already up to 856. We're very close. We will have some yellow balloons coming this round, so I will keep it slow. But the one good thing about Adora is that although she can't see camos, which is not fun, she can hit through walls. So I think if I place her somewhere around here, I will be able to hit into the circle as well as up in front. And I think that might be optimal. Perhaps up here, hitting downward and then along this track, but I think being able to hit right at the start will be important. So I think I'm going to put Adora right here. And as you can see, she can see through the walls. And I think this placement might be optimal. I'm going to keep it on slow, simply because there are our first pinks coming this round. And I think maybe we get faster rangs here. Just to be safe. Although Adora can handle quite a bit on her own. Especially with this boomerang. Alright. The next round is all greens and yellows, so we should be good. Like I said, I'm going to buy faster rangs here. And then my next goals are Glaive Ricochet. Obviously, we have to choose this path because that's the whole challenge. And then I do need my first Spike Factory simply because on round 24 we are going to get a camo balloon. And again, that is our only way right now of popping camos. So we really need to prioritize that. Next round is just yellow balloons, so we should be fine. And the round after that is all green, so I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through these. Now we have a decent amount of money. I think I'm going to buy Glaive Ricochet, and that'll give us 6 rounds, or 5 rounds I guess, to be able to get a Spike Factory, and then we'll be fine. And we'll be in a really good spot here now that we've passed the very opening stages. And the next round has some pinks, but I'm not too concerned now that we have Glaive Ricochet, simply because that is such a good upgrade. And yeah, we easily clean through that. And the next round is simply some black balloons. Again, should not be a problem. And also we did get a Adora ability, which gives her extra range and more damage, which is very, very helpful here. I might even need it on this next round, as it's yellow balloon spam and pink balloons. So I'll go ahead and use it. This will also serve as a demonstration for those who are unaware, but Adora does get this extra range that's very, very useful, and she does more damage. So we aren't having any problem here, really, especially with Adora plus Glaive Ricochet. It's really able to handle a lot of balloons. And the next 2 rounds should be very straightforward, and that should allow us to get a Spike Factory, as we're already very close. I'll go ahead and speed this up. But yeah, we get a Spike Factory. I think I'll place him towards the end here, simply because we don't want to waste the spikes, since its only job is to pop camos at this juncture. We don't want to waste the spikes on just random balloons. But yeah, this next round is very easy. It just has 1 camo, so I'm going to go fast forward through this, and our Spike Factory will be able to take care of the singular camo balloon. The next round has our first purple balloons, but Adora's ability allows her to hit purple balloons, so we shouldn't have a problem. I will slow it down though, but when the purple balloons come out, I will use the ability simply to make sure they get handled up front and they don't have to resort to our boomerangs back here. Alright, we wait a second, and here the purple balloon's gonna pop that ability, and now the purple balloons will fall, just like that. Alright. Now our next round is zebra balloons and pink balloons, but we should be completely fine, so I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through this. And the next round after that is indeed a money round, so we'll fast forward through that as well. Now the next round is our first leads, but lucky for us, Adora can pop lead, so we shouldn't have any problems. I'll even leave that on fast forward. And then the next 2 rounds are about the same difficulty, so we shouldn't have any real problems. We get a bunch of yellow balloons, and then we get another set of leads. So we should not have any problems here. And then the next round also shouldn't be that big of a difficulty. I am thinking we could try to get more glaive soon. But Spike Storm is so good. I feel like this is going to be our heavy carry, especially in our bigger camo rounds, as, again, this is our only way of popping camo. So I think I am going to upgrade this a little bit. Maybe just 2 upgrades for now. But we should be good for now. It looks like round 33 is going to be our next challenge, as that's our next set of camos. But round 32, I will need to pop a door ability, as there are some purple balloons coming here in a moment. There they are. Go ahead and use the ability. And now, round 33, we do have more camos, so I'm going to get bigger stacks and white hot spikes. That'll be important later on, just for DDT handling and things like that, as we will need them to be able to pop leads. But this Spike Factory should be able to hold on just enough. Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah, not even really a problem. Alright, the next round shouldn't be a big deal, so we'll go ahead and fast forward through that. It's just 160 yellow balloons, so just gotta wait for all those to spawn through. And then the round after that will be our first rainbow balloons. I believe we'll be able to handle that with Adora and the Glaive Ricochet, so I'm feeling good enough to let them handle that. Now round 40 is coming up, and my general plan is to rely on the Spike Storm ability. Now to get that, I will need $8,100, and I have 3,300, so I'll need almost 5,000 more in the next few rounds, but I should be relatively safe, so I'm going to let these play out. We do have these camo regens, but hopefully our Spike Factory can hold out. Yeah, it looks like it. Alright, come on. Shouldn't be a problem, I suppose. Yep, there we go. And then the next round, all we have is some camo whites and then random things that we should be fine with. So we'll go ahead and fast forward through that. Now the next round is our first round of ceramics, so we do need to consider that, but I believe the Spike Factory by itself will be able to handle some ceramics. Um, and I could get Mob Shredder, but I don't think that'll even really help it. Simply as that only does mob damage, not ceramics. So we'll slow it down, and I'll use Adora's ability, but I think we should be fine on the ceramic front. I don't foresee any problems. Alright, let's use Adora's ability. And it looks like we didn't even need to rely on the Spike Factory, as Adora could handle that all on her own. Now next we have some rainbow balloons, but as we saw before, those can be handled. So we'll go ahead and fast forward through that. But of course round 40 will be our first Moab. Hopefully we can get enough money. And I think we just crossed enough money, so we should be fine as we can get Mob Shredder and Spike Storm. So now I'm going to have it slow, but if we use Spike Storm as early as we can, we should be fine. I'll go ahead and use Adora's ability just because we have it. But here we are getting Spike Storm, and let's go ahead and use it. And you'll see that Moab just gets obliterated, as Spike Storm is a very, very strong ability. Now we do get Adora's second ability, but I don't think this is going to be very helpful early on, simply because it involves us sacrificing a tower, and I don't think that's really necessary at this point, but maybe in the future. So let's go ahead and keep going. I don't think we'll have any troubles this next round. The round after that we have some camo rainbows, but I think just our Spike Factory will be able to take those out. But if we need to, we always have the Spike Storm ability. Also, I think we'll be able to get more glaives here in a moment, and that should be very good. Also, another Spike Factory should definitely be on the to-do list. So let's go ahead and do this. Once these camo rainbows spawn in, I'll slow it down just to see if I need to use this ability. But hopefully this Spike Factory can produce enough so that we're fine. It looks like it might just be enough. Yeah, barely. Alright, so we're good there. And the next round will be some ceramics and rainbows. So I think I'm going to buy more glaives, just because that can handle ceramics very, very well. As you can see, it's shredding through the ceramics and rainbows. No problem at all. Next round is just a money round. We get 50 zebra balloons, so I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through this. So the next round is going to be pink balloons, leads, rainbows, but also some camo purple balloons. But I think with our Spike Storm ability, we should be fine. Maybe even without. Maybe I'll get a second Spike Factory, also put it back here. Yeah, I think if I do this, and again, we're only allowed to do middle path, but I can have some other cross paths. I think if I do this, it should be able to handle the camo purples. We'll buy bigger stacks right away, but I think we should be fine. I can't see 10 purple balloons using this many spikes. Here they come. There's no point in getting white hut spikes right now, simply because that doesn't do anything for purples. But yeah, it looks like we're completely fine. And the rest of this round should be relatively easy, as it's just pink balloons. And the next round we have fortified ceramics rather. So I think we will have to use a Spike Storm for that. But hopefully with the money from these upcoming rounds, we'll be able to get another Spike Storm, because I think that will be crucial in terms of our overall damage, especially with more Moabs coming up. Alright, so let's go ahead and see these fortified ceramics. I'll use Adora's ability, but I don't think that's going to be enough. I suppose this more glaives upgrade is actually handling it very, very well. That's better than I thought it was going to. Are we... I guess we'll get white hot spikes maybe, or maybe we upgrade this boomerang as well. Again, we can only go top path, but maybe it's worth it to get glaive ricochet and then red hot rangs as well. And then we can still get white hot spikes. And so maybe that in general is just a good strategy. The next round does have a lot of camos, but they're all pinks. So I'm hoping that these spike factories will be able to handle them, because the round after that, round 48, has 30 regrow camo purple balloons, which does sound like it would use an ability. So I'm hoping that these pink camos will be able to be held by just these two spike factories. Here they are. And if I have to use the ability, that's fine. I just really would rather not. Hopefully they can hold them off. Looks like they're doing a good job, but they're still spawning in. Alright, they just stopped. I think we're gonna be fine. It looks like it, yeah. Alright, there we go. So the next round, like I said, we will probably have to use the ability simply for the purple camo balloons, just because there are too many. But the ability should be able to clear the entire round, so we shouldn't have any problems in that regard. Right, where are these camo balloons? Here they are. Alright, so we're going to wait for as many of them to spawn as possible before we use this ability. Alright, we'll go ahead and use it now. And they're still spawning in, but they're getting popped. And it looks like we got all of them. And now we just have some rainbows and some fortified ceramics. So we'll go ahead and use Adora's ability when the ceramics come in, but with more glaives we should be fine, as I don't really see an issue that could arise here. Again, this upgrade is very, very strong, and it's able to handle a lot of the things that are coming through this little funnel area. Alright, yep, it looks like we passed that pretty easily. Next round, the highest we have is ceramics, just normal ceramics, and so I'm feeling comfortable fast forwarding with this more glaives, as I think he can handle just about anything at this point. Yeah, look at that. He's just shredding through everything. How many? He's already up to 12,000 pops. Doing a very, very nice job here. And now, round 50 coming up has 2 Moabs and 20 ceramics, but I think we can handle that with simply one Spike Storm. We can get another Spike Storm, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do that, just in case as a fallback. And I think it'll be useful in future rounds. And then maybe we'll work towards more glaives here as well. So let's go ahead and have round 50. I'll slow this down. So I'm not expecting this Moab to be broken. I just want the next Moab to spawn in so I can use Spike Storm and have it be very effective. Come on, where's the second Moab? Gonna have to use this ability here. We do have the second one. Okay, the Moab spawns in just in time. And, oh, we get a level up, but we also beat those Moabs, and we move on to the next round. Now, the next round, we also do need an ability, as it has camo ceramics, 15 of them. So, we do have an ability up, so we're just gonna wait for them to spawn in, and then use that. Luckily, the spikes from the last round are actually still here for a little while, and they actually pop about 2 of them, which is nice. But we'll wait for as many to spawn in as we can. And we'll go ahead and use the second ability now. We're about halfway to our first ability coming back. But we pop all of the ceramics there, and then these rainbows can be handled by Adora and our more glaives upgrade. Now next up we have 2 more Moabs and 10 ceramics. I think we should be fine with these upgrades. I might go for another spike factory and also get more glaives here, just because that seems like a reasonable upgrade. But yeah, we should only need 1 Spike Storm for these 2 Moabs, so I'll go ahead and fast forward here. There's Moab 1, there's Moab 2. Let's go ahead and Spike Storm now, just so we can get it back faster. And we're still not even using many of the spikes, which is really, really good. As coming up on round 60, we'll need to be able to pop a BFB, but I think even with one ability, we should be fine, just because it's such a strong ability. Now round 53, we have 3 more Moabs, but we have another ability again, so we should be completely fine. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward. We do have some pink camos, but they should be taken care of as we saw before with these spike factories. And now we have this one up top as well. So there's Moab 1, Moab 2, and Moab 3. Let's go ahead and use this ability, and they all get crushed. Now the next round does have 2 more Moabs, but again, we still have a Spike Storm ability, so we should be fine. I might even slow it down and try to beat them with just Adora's ability, because that would allow us to regenerate our abilities, which could be useful. So let's go ahead and pop Adora's ability here. See how much damage we can do on these Moabs. And it's looking like we might need to pop the ability. I'll let him go through these spikes. Here, let me get Moab Shredder and this top path again. I think the top path is just way more valuable at this point. This can definitely handle that, and I think these two will be able to handle this leftover. Oh wow, this Morglaive's actually just cleaned that up very, very nicely. Wow, I was not expecting that. So yeah, we didn't even have to use an ability there, and we should be getting our second one back momentarily. The next round only has 1 Moab, so I think we can even fast forward through this, and I think we should be fine. It's mostly money since we're able to handle ceramics so easily now. We'll use Adora's ability, but I think we can handle this Moab, as we saw from that previous round. Yeah, it doesn't even make it through like half of the spikes here. Now the next round we have 40 rainbow camo balloons. So we probably will need to pop 1 ability here. I'll let as many spawn as possible, but we will most likely need to use 1 ability. Yeah, they're just shredding through the spikes, so let's go ahead and use it now that they've all spawned in. Luckily they're not regrows, so we don't need to worry about that. But yeah, we should be able to handle all of that. And then the next round does have 4 Moabs, but I'm not too concerned. We always have a Spike Storm to fall back on, but we've been handling Moabs very well actually, so I think our Spike Factories might be able to handle them almost on their own. So we do use Adora's ability. We get the first few ticks of damage on the Moabs, and we should do the same on this next set. Hopefully our Spike Factories are able to handle those. Looks like we didn't get a pop it. I think the Spike Factory will be able to handle it though. Oh wow, the Morglaives actually bounced over there and handled that very, very nicely. The range on this guy is insane. He can hit all the way over here. And the cleanup work is very, very nice. Look at that snipe. Very beautiful. And the next round we have some fortified ceramics and Moabs. I think maybe we just get another Spike Storm and then just try to save up for Glaive Lord. So I think that is what I'm going to do here. I think I'm just going to get another Spike Storm and then just, yeah, I think Glaive Lord is the way to go, because that'll handle all the camos we need for the rest of the game, essentially. So I'll go ahead. There are 5 Moabs this round. I'm going to let the first few come on screen before I use my first Spike Storm. So that's the second, that's the third. I'll use Adora's ability just because it's good to have that on cooldown. Looks like our Spike Factory is handling pretty well with this second boomerang. Yeah, I don't even think we will need an ability here. Maybe 1. But I think, because we haven't even touched these spikes over here, so I think we should be completely fine. Yeah, we should be fine. I'm going to fast forward through this. Alright, and then the next round is camo leads and then ceramics, and so we are going to have to use 1 Spike Storm ability, but that shouldn't be a problem. So we'll just go ahead and use it now. And yeah, that'll clean up all of that. wait for those to get popped. And now we are to round 60, the BFB. I think, honestly, we can beat him with a single Spike Storm. We'll use a Door's ability and now use a Spike Storm, and yeah, he gets clobbered. So we do not have a problem at all. Now round 61 has 5 Moabs, but again, we've kind of proven that those aren't an issue, so I think we're good. Go ahead and slow it down just in case I need to use one ability. Okay, the Boomerang and Spike Factory handle that. And we're actually popping them while they're still in this loops, which is really, really good. And yeah, there's only one left, so we should be able to take that out. Next round we have 2 Fortified Moabs, as well as 15 Camo Regrow Rainbows, which could be dangerous. So I will have to time the Spike Storm ability very, very well here. Let's go ahead and slow that down. There's a ton of purple balloons, but again, we have no problem with that. I'll even pop a Door's ability just to make sure those aren't an issue. Moabs should be getting popped up here as we saw before. Yep. And we should be able to handle all of this without an ability so that we can save our abilities for these Camo Regrow Rainbow Balloons. Maybe for these Fortified Moabs I'll use one. And I guess they're with the Camo Balloons, so I'll go ahead and pop one here in a moment just to handle all of that. And yeah, that gets cleaned up very nicely. Next we have round 63, and if you don't know, round 63 with this upgrade path, the 402 Boomerang, just gets absolutely clobbered. And maybe even with this 420 since we have a Dora with it, but I'm honestly comfortable fast forwarding through this simply because these Boomerangs can handle this round so well with Glaive Ricochet. Like a few of them are getting by, but with the Spike Factory, like getting the cleanup, it's no issue at all. Round 64, we have 6 Moabs and 3 reinforced Moabs, so we should be good with a single Spike Storm ability. Maybe even... we'll use one just because those are fortified. I don't want to risk it. And the spikes here will help at the beginning of the next round. We do have 2 BFBs this round, but if I get them both on screen and then use the Spike Storm ability, we should be completely fine. So I even feel comfortable with this on fast forward. Alright, we're handling all of that very nicely. Now when these Moabs and BFBs show up, we'll wait for them to get up a little bit, and now we'll use the Spike Storm. And yeah, we handle that no issues at all. So I'm honestly almost feeling comfortable taking down a ZOMG, which we won't even see till round 80. But I think we should be fine. So the next round has 3 fortified Moabs and 8 normal Moabs. And so we should be good for that. Maybe even without a Spike Storm, but we might use one just because it'll make it a little bit easier. Maybe for these fortified Moabs we'll use one. We'll see how they handle these spikes. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use one just in case. But yeah, those get handled nicely. And now round 67, we have Camo Fortified Regrow Ceramics. So we will definitely need an ability for this, but I will fast forward to make sure they all get on the screen. There are 13 of them, so we should see them stop here in a moment. That's all of them, so we'll go ahead and use the ability there. Hopefully they don't regrow too much. Looks like this Spike Factory is doing a good job at keeping them down. And we should be able to handle these Moabs with just our other towers. I'll go ahead and fast forward again. And yeah, we shouldn't have any issues there. Alright, the next round we have 1 BFB and 4 Moabs. So I'm thinking we should be good with 1 Spike Storm ability. So I'll go ahead and fast forward, and now we'll use it. And yep, everything gets taken out nice and easy. Next round should be fairly straightforward with our um, with our boomerangs. Yep, and they're handling this very nicely. And the next round does have 120 camo balloons that are white. And they're also regrow, which is not the greatest, but I mean, we have 3 spike storms, so we can't really go too wrong. So there they are, making it through. We'll go ahead and use 1 spike storm. They're still coming through. We might have to use another spike storm. Yeah, I'm gonna use another one just to be safe. And the next round is 10 Moabs with 30 ceramics. We are getting close to being able to buy a Glaive Lord, which is important. I think... So I like the placement of this boomerang better, but I think that the bottom path as a cross path is better for the Glaive Lord. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a boomerang here, switch his hand so he can hit in here better, go bottom path with the top path, and this is what I'm going to have as the Glaive Lord. I know it's a waste of like $4,000, but I think this is just the best way forward. Use Adora's ability. And we are actually handling basic Moabs with this third boomerang a lot better. Completely destroying all of them in that middle area. Now this next round does have 2 BFBs, but again, we can handle that with a singular Spike Storm. We just wait for them to get on the screen. Then we'll go ahead and use those. And it should last long enough, but... oh, maybe not. But we should be fine, I think. Might need another Spike Storm ability here. Let's see. Oh no, we should be good. Those should be able to handle that. Yep, alright. Now round 72, we have 2 more BFBs, but again, 1 Spike Storm ability should be enough. We'll use Adora's ability. And we actually have Adora's 3rd ability now, which is very, very strong. And there goes that round. The next round has 25 camo ceramic fortified balloons, so we are going to have to use our Spike Storms very well here when these spawn in. We'll definitely be slowing this down to make sure I do not mess this up. So there are 25 of these guys. So let's go ahead and use 1 Spike Storm now. Hopefully that takes care of a lot of them. And we don't want these popping too much before we completely pop them, because then the regrow will take over. We're going to use another ability here because I didn't like the amount over there. Doesn't look too bad. I think we handled that completely. Yep, we should be good. These Moabs shouldn't be a problem. And these fortified regular ceramics will get crushed by our 2 boomerangs here. Now additionally, this Carpet of Spikes upgrade is insanely strong, but I'm just thinking in terms of camo and price, Glaive Lord we need to get first. And then from the Glaive Lord we will be able to save up for the Carpet of Spikes. So I think that's the path that I'm going to go for here. We need, what is it, about 7,000 more dollars. So this round has 7 BFBs, but with our... we'll use Adora's 3rd ability, and then our Spike Storm. We should be completely fine. We also have some fortified Moabs. Let's go ahead and use a Spike Storm now, and then we'll use 1 more, because I think that might be too much. Alright. Now the next round has 60 ceramic regrow, but we should be fine with our boomerangs, I think. Yep, should be fine there. And now the round after has 5 BFBs, so we should be good, as we just had more than that. Use Adora's laser ball beam thing. And her first ability, take out these leading Moabs. We'll go ahead and use 1 Spike Storm. And then we'll use a second one here. And that should clean up everything very nicely. We are about 1 round away, I believe, from getting a Glaive Lord. So I'm going to try to slow this round down and buy it mid-round, just because there are a ton of camo ceramics coming this round, and I'm not sure we'll be able to handle it without this upgrade. So let's go ahead and buy that. And this guy will just shred through everything now, so we can even fast forward. And this is the whole point of the black hole challenge, is this is sort of the dark, you know, he's the black hole and we got these orbiting objects around here. And see, he just shreds through. Even BFBs don't get through anymore. So this should be very useful. All those camos just get obliterated. And we just move on to the next round as this Glaive Lord can carry us through now until we can get to a Carpet of Spikes. As BFBs aren't even making it through the opening loop. So we should be fine. Even the ZOMG with our Spike Storm ability plus Glaive Lord, we should be fine. Yeah, even these fortified BFBs are getting crushed. So now we have our ZOMG. I'll go ahead and use Adora's 2 abilities. She's doing nice damage to it by herself. Now with our Boomerang Monkeys, it gets completely crushed. Yeah, I think we almost have a setup good enough to take us all the way through the end of the game. But we do need some more money to be able to get the Carpet of Spikes upgrade, as I think that could be crucial when dealing with the DDTs and bad of the last few rounds. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through these next few rounds simply because the Glaive Lord is so strong and it shouldn't be a problem at all. And so the next round we have is going to be 4 ZOMGs, but as you saw, we were able to handle 2 without a single Spike Storm, so I think we should be able to handle 4 with a Spike Storm. So I'm going to even fast forward through this. And we'll use both of Adora's abilities. And now, hopefully, the Glaive Lord pops most of it by himself, and then all the leftovers we'll use a Spike Storm for. So there go 2 ZOMGs. We'll use Adora's ability again. And it looks like with that third Boomerang, we're able to clean it up completely. And we are getting very, very close to the Carpet of Spikes upgrade. The next round should be relatively free. And so that might even get us far enough. And so hopefully with that, we will be able to get the Carpet of Spikes upgrade, and with that, essentially win the game. As that upgrade is just strong enough to carry us through the rest of the game. Like, I might need to use some Spike Storms here and there, but we should be fine, and we can get it now. So let's go ahead and buy that, and now we will just wait and see how that, fares against some DDTs coming in round 90. And again, this is our third part of the black hole. We got this, the Glaive Lord, and Voidora here, all contributing to this space theme as well as the map. But here we have our first glance at DDTs, but with the carpet, or the Carpet of Spikes, we just shred through that, no problem. And now we have 20 BFBs coming, but again, they shouldn't stand a chance. We'll use Voidora's 2 abilities. But yeah, they aren't going to make it past our Glaive Lord and our Carpet of Spikes. Now round 92 is pretty straightforward, so we shouldn't have any problems there. And then coming up in round 93, it's just some more DDTs and BFBs. So we should be fine. And yeah, our setup is very, very strong now. So we should be fine. It's going to be 6 DDTs, but yeah, they get shredded by a single activation of Carpet of Spikes. And the second one will take out the rest. So now, round 94, we have 6 ZOMGs and 25 BFBs. We'll go ahead and use Adora's abilities, keep those cycling. But we seem to be completely fine. I'll even activate a Spike Storm here. Just because I can, and let it recharge. But that Carpet of Spikes is just too strong. We'll go ahead and place down a Spike Factory, upgrade it to be a 204, and then just sacrifice it to Adora. Just so she can get more XP. And then she's up to level 16 now, which is good. And now, round 95, we have a lot of camos, but with Glaive Lord, that should be able to take it out. And then DDTs should not be a problem with Carpet of Spikes. So we should be completely fine without any abilities here, honestly. There go the DDTs. Getting crushed. If Glaive Lord takes him out and Carpet of Spikes does the rest. And now the only rounds we really need to worry about are rounds 98 and 99, as those tend to be the harder rounds. Round 99 I'm not too concerned about because the reinforced DDTs should be subject to the Glaive Lord plus Carpet of Spikes very easily. Round 98 might be a little bit of work since the ceramics that come out of all the ZOMGs and BFBs can be a lot of work and usually make round 98 the hardest round of Chimps. Let's go ahead and use Adora's abilities still. And we should be fine here. Yep. And coming up here we have round 98. Alright, so like I said, round 98 is probably the only one I'm concerned about just because of the ceramics that come out of all these fortified BFBs. But I think if I use both of Adora's abilities and then maybe I even use all my Spike Storms early just so I can potentially get them back if I need them, I think we should be fine. Maybe that was a bad idea just because they're going to disappear though. We'll see. I'm getting them back slower than I would like. Maybe this Carpet of Spikes is able to hold it off though longer. Maybe I can even get another boomerang though, I suppose. Let's switch hands. Get more glaives, bottom path. And we're starting to get our Spike Storm abilities back, and we'll get them all back at the same time, which will be useful. And then I suppose afterward I can sacrifice this boomerang as well to Adora. Alright, we get it done there. Let's go ahead and sacrifice this boomerang. Get Adora up to level 18. And now I think around 99 we should be fine, especially since we're getting all our Spike Storm abilities back. Because it's just these Moabs and then these reinforced DDTs. Let Carpet of Spikes activate once. And I don't even need to activate a single Spike Storm. Wow. And now we are up to round 100. And I think we're good enough to handle this bad, so let's just go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to wait until he gets into the first loop to activate my Spike Storms, but I'm just going to activate them all at the same time. Simply because there's not really a reason not to. So we're going to activate one, we'll activate the next, and then we'll activate the final one here. And the DDTs get popped immediately, and these ZOMGs will fall to the Carpet of Spikes and the Glaive Lord. And it looks like we should have a win here. Go ahead and activate Adora's ability again. And there we go, we get the win. Alright. So that was the Black Hole Challenge. Thank you for watching the video. And if you want to suggest a challenge for me to do in the next video, make sure to comment it below and tune into my stream next time, and maybe I'll be checking out one of your challenges. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.